anniversary. We have a wonderful program tonight. You'll be meeting some truly inspiring individuals who make our mission a reality. To start that off, I'd like to introduce to you Robin, back up here, who is our development specialist and has put on this party for us.
Thank you, Sharon, and thank you, everybody. All right, I'm going to try to see this. All right, so first of all, again, welcome to Aspiritech's 10th anniversary celebration. It's amazing. We are thrilled that you are here tonight and hope that you have a wonderful time. Get really, really close with all your neighbors. Get to know each other very well. And I'm going to just try to keep this very brief. At first, I will give you a quick rundown of a few of the things that we're expecting tonight. First of all, we have silent auctions that I know that a lot of you have been able to see. We have 2 silent auctions. The first one is over there to my left. Lots of wonderful, exciting items. And I'm very excited about it. The one that I am really excited about is over to my right. We at Aspiritech, we have some very, very talented analysts, and they're not only talented in quality assurance, we actually have some artwork by our analysts. So yeah, wow, that's right. It's absolutely gorgeous. So please check it out. Show them your love. Bid on the items if I don't get there first. So please make sure to check out that silent auction. We're pushing back the close of the silent auctions to about 8:30 or so. So enjoy. We also have some salsa dancers coming soon. Big surprise. I know. You can get up and learn some moves. And there's a lot more. Have a great time. Get that. Enjoy. I want to give some thanks. And this is what I need my phone for. So there are a lot of people who made this night possible. First of all, I want to thank Carnivale. They put on an incredible party for us. They were easy to work with, super accommodating. Thank you so much to all of our bartenders, our servers, our event staff. Yes, thank you. They're working their butts off right now. I want to thank Alex Dudisic over there. Thanks, Alex. He's responsible for the slideshow. He organized the analyst artwork, and he's done more than any of us can know. I want to thank Andre Pepchin. Where's she? Where are you, Andre? Oh, there you are. Andre tirelessly, there she is, tirelessly worked on our silent auction. So thank you so much for securing several of our wonderful items. She's a pleasure to work with, and we're so glad that you're here with us. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, Katie. We want to thank Rhiannon Stone and Christian Durantes, who made the silent auction winners sign that you all want to get your names on. There's Christian, Rhiannon somewhere around here. We want to thank Bonnie Golden and Jill Klein, who came early to help us set up. Thank you very much. We want to thank, let's see, where are we? Marina Prince, Jake Klein, for helping us to figure out how to work our credit card machines, which are very important for us tonight. Thank you. And we want to thank our program assembly warriors, Brad Cohen, Ann Brownell, Moshe, Brenda, and Iran. Without them, you would not have these beautiful programs. It was a labor of love, I swear. Yeah. Speaking of things, I'm going to say a few words, just a few words I promise, about Terry and Dennis Dudisic. Where are they? Are they here? Oh, good. Okay, excellent. They are. We're going to present Terry and Dennis with our Spirit of Giving Award this year. This is a huge honor, and there's no one more deserving. One of my favorite memories, actually favorite in quotes, memories, is from our first open house in Highland Park this year when we showed everybody our new space upstairs. We ordered food and it was delivered, but it was late, and they forgot the ice. So without hesitation, Dennis jumped into his car to get some ice bags, and Terry kept us sane by setting up the food, silverware, punch bowl, and glasses upstairs. Dennis came back, we loaded the ice into the freezer, and nobody energy. They are kind and driven and dedicated to everything they do, and we are so lucky to consider them part of our Aspiritech family. They both truly possess the spirit of giving through their incredible volunteer efforts and involvement in establishing, overseeing, and running programs for youth who might not have those opportunities otherwise. And selfishly, they gave us Alex, which we're very, very happy about. Terry and Dennis, if you could please come up here to accept your well-deserved Spirit of Giving Award. Our son, Alex, is an employee here at Aspiritech, and because of Aspiritech and the opportunities afforded him, he is working full-time. He has a voice that is respected and embraced as a member of the team, feels empowered, and has taken giant steps towards self-sufficiency. The board, leadership, and support staff know how to provide the perfect balance of support and challenge to their very dedicated, bright, talented, and creative team, making Aspiritech a leader in the industry. Additionally, social programming and support provided promotes friendships that extends beyond the work environment and embraces community members, infusing fun and engaging experiences, promoting happiness and relieving social isolation. And for Dennis and myself, Terrence, Aspiritech provides a sense of peace that is priceless and gratitude that cannot be expressed with words alone. And we solely do not feel this way. I have heard this time and time again from many parents, employees, and participants of the SUO program that have shared how grateful they are to be a part of the Aspiritech family. Aspiritech helps propel their gifted and skilled employees to new heights on both a professional and personal level. In closing, where's Aran? Aran, thank you for being the inspiration. Randall and Moshe for your innovation and endless dedication. The board, leadership, and support staff for your daily commitment and ingenuity, and most importantly, to the awesome QA testers who are indeed the lifeblood of this organization, making Aspiritech the success it is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry and Dennis. You're the best. They helped set up tonight too, of course. Now, we have a very, very special treat. I would like to welcome Brian Tozo, who has been an analyst since 2010. So he has some stories. 2009. 9/10 minutes. Who cares? We're not doing QA here. All right, here's Brian.
Hey!
Thank you. Good evening. Many of you know me as Brian Tozo, as an employee of Aspiritech since, again, 2009-2010. I've been fortunate to every yearly celebration benefit for Aspiritech. I've seen this company grow for less than 10 people on the spectrum in most of Brenda's basement, to the 100 plus employees we have now at our 2-story office in Highland Park and the office in Chicago. Through these years, I've seen stepping up and out, branch out as we participated in many, many activities. From community work, improv, going on field trips, watching movies, video outings, zoo outings, park outings, plays, the list goes on. We provide a service for adults on the spectrum who don't get to go out much. So without your support, we can't provide quality trips and transportation and other activities. Without it, we might as well call it stepping up and go away. That would be sad. So thanks for your generous donations and buying tickets for the fine gifts, prizes, and we can provide services for socialization for people on the spectrum. So on a personal note, I would like to call Katie Levin, our social media specialist, and my special guest on stage. Thank you. Okay, so Katie and I have been together since 2013, and in August of that year, Aspiritech hosted a picnic for Stuck Out participants and staff. Well, most of the participants were doing family activities like throwing frisbees, playing beanbags, and eating hot dogs and other picnic items. I noticed that Katie here was by herself in the back. She had lost her mother to illnesses in 2011, her father many years before that, and was depressed about it. So I decided to go by her and talk to her. We talked about mascots, high school, likes and dislikes, and that's when I tried to ask her out. Well, she was ambivalent at first. Our long story short, we are now living together at a nice two-bed, two-bathroom apartment, and have been happy ever since.
Hey! They've been happy ever since, right? Yeah, okay.
So while I can't guarantee the following would happen to you or your man or woman at Step Out, it does know that it's a real possibility.
Yeah, there you are. Yay!
Thank you so much, Brian and Katie. We have a round of applause for them, like a real one. Thank you. Thank you. That's beautiful. So, the next two need absolutely no introduction. Brenda and Moshe Weitzberg are Executive Director and Director of Operations.
Do you believe Robin and Brian and the Dunasis? Are we blessed? By the way, I think, where's Brian and Katie? Brian, I think that picnic was in the backyard of our wonderful supporters and friends and advisors, Louise Pearson and Jack Henkin on Oakwood Avenue. Yes? Where's Louise and Jack? Where are they? You see what your picnic happened? All right. Thank you. All right, I got to get to the first page. For some odd reason, I'm going to be talking more than Moshe. Anyway, tonight, as we celebrate Aspiritech's 10th anniversary, we are both proud and privileged to introduce our guest of honor, Beverly Shapiro. In a board leadership position throughout almost all of Aspiritech's history. I think maybe there was a week without her in the beginning. While today Aspiritech is a thriving social enterprise, and for the past 4 years we've been doubling or nearly doubling in size year over year and employing almost 100 individuals with autism out of our 3 offices. Let me assure you, that was not always the case. 10 years ago, our business model was unique and unproven. We were so naive. We were the very first company in the Americas and tied for second in the world to found a business on the assumption that autism, and by the way, that is now referred more broadly as neurodiversity, can be a competitive business advantage, and that individuals on the autism spectrum have talents and skills that were being overlooked. This was causing an estimated 85 to 90% unemployment rate, the highest among any other disability group, leaving a large swath of highly capable adults with autism living totally disconnected lives. Aspiritech believed that given the right type of work, in our case that was software training and quality assurance, QA, along with understanding, training, structure, and support, individuals with autism could excel. Our first 5 years were extremely challenging because our society, including the largest autism advocacy groups, was focused entirely on children, not on adults, and on the needs and challenges, rarely the strengths. And it took them a long while to catch up to us and our vision. And thank God they've gotten there. So in the last 5 years, you're starting to see articles about neurodiversity and the autism advantage showing up in the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Forbes, Inc., Harvard Business School, etc. But when times were tough, understandably, there were often differences of opinion, to say it mildly, amongst the board and key staff. Through it all, as we were figuring out what to do, Beverly, you guided us with your steady, calm, and attentive demeanor. To help set goals and direction as we grew, she led us through not one, not two, but 3 different strategic plans, basically every 3 years. At our helm, she was able to keep our ship steady and afloat by facilitating even-handed, respectful, and thoughtful discussion and problem solving. Thanks to her professional chops, Bev often focused on the supports and programs that our staff needed to work to their fullest potential. However, don't ever underestimate Bev or try to put her in a box. Under that cool, calm, social work demeanor is a business development demon. How many of you knew that? I cannot tell you how many times she would excitedly call me up to tell me that on an overseas trip with Myron, or in Alaska, or on the elevator, or at the opera, or at a meeting, or on a tennis court, she had approached someone with her Aspiritech elevator speech and tried to sell them on our services. And she hooked so many of you who are here today to celebrate her service. She's hooked you, and thanks to her, well, there's someone in here, one of her guests is a retired businessman, Jim. Where's Jim? With his lovely wife, Joanne. Oh, gosh. Jim was hooked by Beverly, and Jim helped us secure many contracts, and he's still doing that to this day. Thank you. Thank you. Frankly,
You just sent an email.
I started to worry that thanks to Aspiritech, people would go running in the other direction whenever they saw Beverly coming their way. And I still have some fears that Myron's going to get me one day for the 10 years we stole from the 2 of you. But more than anything else, I want to personally thank you, Beverly, for your support in those tough, tough years. When I was at my lowest, anytime I felt we might have to just throw in the towel, Bev You would always be there, so positive, so enthusiastic, and so amazed. Everything amazed her. A new grant, a new client, more staff, an expanded office, a new office, and yet another one, and 5 more. Our growing budget, she always was positive. You looked at Aspiritech through very rosy-colored lenses, and that positivity, I think that's a word, maybe not, was exactly what we needed. Thank you, Beverly. I can't end without one quote. I have very little memories from elementary school, but I remember one quote of Robert Browning that my 4th grade teacher, I can't even remember her name, put on the board. Anyone know the quote? I'm going to change it from masculine to feminine. And it is, but a woman's reach should exceed her grasp. Else what is heaven for? To achieve anything, we need to attempt even those things that seem impossible. And thank you, Bev. There's no way we could be where we are today without you.
I Beverly, when you took upon yourself to be practically the first board president of the first board president, Aspiritech was not yet operational. Aspiritech had 3-4 mostly inexperienced board members. Aspiritech did not have an existing business model to follow and had to create one from scratch. Aspiritech did not have any money. Aspiritech was founded during the worst economic crisis of our lifetime, when everyone was struggling to recover and didn't have time for new ideas. However, Aspiritech had vision, and you saw it. Thank you, Beverly, for navigating us in the most difficult of times and creating a solid governing board and directions for the future. What made you the right person for the job was your ability to listen and focus, deal with difficult people and difficult situations. Remember, right? Push the board to make decisions and follow up on them. But most of all, you were able to tolerate him. Thank you.
And now, we would like to call up Beverly to accept.
Unbelievable people in the world. Moshe and Brenda, wherever you think others of us helped, Aspiritech would not be where it is without Moshe and Brenda. They are beyond awesome. Oh my goodness, I was nervous thinking about this and totally overwhelmed by their words, but all of for being here. This is just an unbelievably exciting time. And I wrote something in advance, and I'm glad I did, because if I had to speak now, it would be totally impossible. This is just beyond amazing. Oh my goodness.
Not bad. Yay, Beverly.
Oh, so, Being honored tonight is so very special. What this represents to me is the real honor of having the privilege of being a part of this amazing organization for most of its 10-year history. I think I missed a month. In 2008, I was retiring from my long career as a social worker with Jewish Family and Community Service. In my capacity as the administrator of our North Suburban office, I was fortunate to meet Brenda Weichberg in her capacity as Director of Family Network. We quickly learned how much we enjoyed working together and how productive we could be together, brainstorming, problem solving, and providing support. So when Brenda approached me to join the board of the new organization she was starting, Aspiritech, I said, I love working with you, but I know very little about autism, and I am totally technologically disabled. And I still am. Brenda was certain I could be helpful, so I joined the small board. At that point in time, the board meetings were mostly in the Whitesburg's house, and their basement was our office. Aspiritech was an idea, a vision that Brenda and Moshe shared. While working in the basement, we were given a finished phone app by a company to use as a training tool. When our few trainees found bugs in this finished product, we knew we were moving in the right direction. We moved out of the basement and rented our first office space in January 2010. So that's not 9 years ago yet. It was a very difficult decision to spend the little money we had raised on rent. Our rent then was $750 a month. You can only imagine what it is now. We had 5 or 6 testers, and 2 of them for sure are here tonight. 2 months later, we signed our first billable project, and in April, the Aspiritech testers got their first paycheck. Now, 8.5 years later, we have moved or expanded our office space a total of 10 times, including the addition this year of a Chicago office. We have 112 employees, although a few people here tonight have told me we're now at 113. Whatever you're told one week, the next week it's higher. And over 90 of those staff are on the autism spectrum. We will likely end this year with a budget close to $4 million. The work of going from 2008 to today has been filled with the passion, dedication, vision, teamwork, perseverance, and support of so many, including every one of you who is here tonight, and many who are not. The process of building a nonprofit QA business whose mission is to provide meaningful employment combined with social opportunity to those on the autism spectrum is no easy task. Challenges range from getting business, keeping us afloat while doing that, building a model to provide individualized support to the testers, and getting funders to believe in us, and doing that over and over and over again as we grew. There was often tension of meeting the demands of expanding business opportunities and work while providing important supports to the testers to make it possible for them to use their incredible talents. In 2011, we got our first grant to hire a half-time autism specialist to work with the test engineers. With further ongoing grants and contributions, we have now expanded our support staff to keep up with our growth. We currently have a social worker, a counselor, an autism specialist, 3 job coaches, and 2 staff who run our community-based Stepping Up and Out program. The program provides social opportunities and programming to adults on the spectrum beyond those who work at Aspiritech. Over the years of growth, we have continuously refined and expanded how and what we do, from our QA expertise to our hiring, training, provision of support, teamwork, and on and on and on. I would urge those of you who haven't seen our 2017 annual report, which is readily available tonight, entitled Cultivating Growth, to pick up a copy. If nothing else, read the quotes from some of our staff to see what it has meant to them and what they have gained from working at Aspiritech. A year ago, we had a day-long retreat to work on our current strategic plan. Both board and key staff, including many on the spectrum, participated in that day. Maybe the most important thing to emerge from that day was our vision statement. It came primarily from our staff on the spectrum. It reads, "A world that embraces neurodiversity by valuing talents, supporting challenges, and welcoming differences. This is truly what Aspiritech does every day. Wouldn't we all want to live and work in such an environment?" Now, 10 years later, I view my time with Aspiritech as a gift to me. Aspiritech afforded me an avenue to use my talents after I retired. In thinking about tonight, I found myself thinking back to when I was young, like in my 20s, a few years ago, attending some event where an old, gray-haired little woman was given an award. I don't know what the organization was, but I remember her saying how much she got, so much more than she gave. And then probably at the time, I thought it was a corny and trite thing to say. Now as I'm older, and certainly gray, I deeply understand what she said, as I too have gotten so much more than whatever I've given. Being a part of this amazing community that is Aspiritech has truly been an ongoing gift. And so I say a big thank you for honoring me and for